there, you guys. Welcome. It's Don't Believe the Hype. My name is Donovan Sadiq. Section of Don't Believe the Hype, the Donovan Sadiq Show. Hope you guys are having good. It's still a nice, wet winter day here in Southern California. And if you're from Southern California like we are, we know that now is the time to have your life insurance paid up and your car insurance, because there are a lot of accidents out there. The roads are slick, and Southern California people, it's a fact. We cannot drive in the rain. Nope. It just the stupidest things, because, we think that whatever our habits are on a dry road, we continue it on the wet road. So those guys that do that little California stop through the intersection, that bald tire that you got from Julio's El Tapateo tire shop is now bald, and now you've created a big old accident. And guess what? He's a Mexican that isn't legal, but he has a driver's license, doesn't have any insurance. So now we're screwed, and we're going to be screwed. And I'm just telling you some of the things that happen here in California for those that don't listen. Yes, just sit here and listen. But what I want to talk about today is, before we start, Don't Believe the Hype. This is a show where we want you to go beyond the soundbite. And I am joined by my partner in crime, Demetra K from the Demetra K Show. Demetra, you were out there pounding the pavement yesterday in the rain, handling your business.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, speaking of accidents, as I was on my way home, it was like rainy. Visibility, you could only see what was in front of you. Mm-hmm. And so the traffic started to slow. And then on the left, in the carpool lane, there was a car. So I don't know what happened, but apparently he was going too fast. Right. I don't know if somebody hit him or what. He spun out and was faced the opposite way in the carpool lane. Cars shit all over the freeway, and I'm like,
damn.
When are y'all gonna believe Fat Meat is greasy? Yes. You can't be driving like that in the rain,
right? Especially if you ain't got no damn insurance,
right?
Okay.
I mean, and I was thinking, well, what if somebody else is not paying attention? You in the carpool lane turned backwards, and somebody doesn't see you, and
exactly,
it's a wrap.
And then if you hit that person that doesn't have insurance, you're just shit out of luck.
That's why you have to have uninsured motorists.
Uninsured motorists. At least that.
Yep.
At least that. So you guys be careful out there on the wet roads, and we'll see what's going to happen. But what I want to talk about today is, I don't know if you guys have heard, as you guys know, I am a military member.
Yes.
24 years served, and it was a hard serve. It wasn't an easy serve. The whole original plan was to go in there for 4 years, get the educational benefits, and bounce. Okay. The God has intervened, the gods or whatever intervened, kept my ass in there, and I was able to get a check, because I'm going to tell you right now, if I had done my original plan, I would have been working for a corporation or something like that, and they would have laid my black ass off.
Okay.
Because the reality is, we're usually the last ones hired and the first ones fired, or we're the token Negro. Whatever. And I'm not the type of Negro that's just gonna go along just to go along.
We know. Okay. So, you can't even walk out of Walmart and have them ask you for your receipt.
See, yeah,
I'm give you nothing.
Yeah, I'm being confrontational.
I own it.
Right. This is my property now. I'm walking out. And I'm not saying it's bad for anybody else, but what I'm saying is, I know I'm good at what I do. I do know aeronautics. I think I am the best at it. I'm sorry. And, for me to work for your company, you're going to pay at least $250,000. That's just for us to talk.
Right.
So, but if you listen in the headlines, New Year's Eve, a Army soldier, sergeant, I think his name was Hassel, was killed and murdered on New Year's Eve up in Michigan. And 2-3 weeks pass, and they finally made an arrest. And guess who? Wait. And when he got killed, let me tell the story real quick. He was mysteriously killed by an unknown assailant and died in his wife's arms at his parents' home.
Okay.
Or the home that they were visiting.
Okay.
And they're both Army soldiers stationed in Fort. He was transferring from Fort Carson to Fort Stewart in Georgia. And he had just did a stint in Korea, so he was coming back. And however the Army does their garrison thing, I'm not too hip on that. But basically, him and his wife were both in the Army. Come to find out, then you get on her Facebook page, she starts a GoFundMe, which doesn't make sense because everybody knows in the military you have life insurance that's going to cover you.
Right, you have some benefits.
But she wanted to raise $100,000.
For what?
For her husband's legacy, because they had a child together and all this other stuff.
Well, I mean, if it was about the kids, she should have asked for more than that.
Right, or you could have increased your SGLI, your insurance, and got more money if that was the case. But here's the thing. And I know a lot of people out there do not like Tommy Sotomayor. We have people out here that major news is a good example of
breaking news, nigga.
Yeah, well, no.
That's his tagline.
Yeah, that's his tagline. But major news is like R. Kelly is assaulting these women, whatever. Okay, and that's major stuff. Major news is a white gorilla hits a black woman in the face that she instigates. That gets national news. But a soldier is murdered mysteriously. No national news on it. No.
Yeah, because I hadn't heard about it until you. But admittedly, I haven't been on Facebook a lot.
Yeah, American Hero.
And I have TV. So.
American Hero. Now, the only reason I heard about it is because they made the arrest.
Okay.
Guess who was arrested?
Dun dun dun.
His wife.
You don't say.
And her lover. Army lover.
It's like the same old story.
Is it?
Yeah, it's usually, I would say a lot of times, because listen, I watched a lot of For Her Man.
Yes, so, I watched it. I hooked you up on that
one. Yeah, and I had Deanna watching. She was like hooked, like, oh my God.
It's crazy.
But a lot of times it's a boo thing involved.
Yes.
It's always somebody else involved in the
triangle. Exactly. And for those of you guys that don't know the military, it is a hard life to lead. If you're a young person, you have no business. That's why they don't want you married, especially when you're young on your first tour. You shouldn't get married. These girls, even in the military, do you realize that if the military does not put its foot down and make these girls accountable? I was one of those commanders that if you got pregnant on your first tour, I would put you out of the military.
Oh, damn.
Because if we didn't do that, we'd have a whole housing area full of single mothers.
Yeah.
Single mothers. And you're a soldier and you're supposed to do your job. So, it's not going to work for us.
Right.
And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, no, you ain't got no right to do that. The military.
You ain't got no right.
Right. The military is not the civilian sector. We can do what the fuck we want to do within military terms and military regulation.
Okay.
I control you. You don't control me.
Got it.
You're going to shut up because I said to shut up.
That's why I didn't go to the military.
Yeah, but man, are we having regrets?
Okay, yeah. I wish I had me a check right about
exactly.
now.
You would have been rolling.
Be all up in the VA acting stupid.
Exactly.
Falling out
No, you're already at 100%. When you start falling out, you're already there.
Right. Okay. But I just have to do it every once or twice a year so they'll know mess with my check.
Yes. But, and it's not a laughing matter, but I have said time and time again that I think mental illness is very rampant in the black community.
Okay.
And why? And how do I justify that is you've got black women running around with other people's DNA on their head. Okay?
You mean like this bun I got going?
No, but that's it. But it's Afrocentric bun. It matches your hair.
It's not real hairy. It's synthetic kinkaline.
Right, but it matches your hair, which is fine. You got women that are wearing yaki and whatever else whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? It's a mental illness.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, now those women are now jumping on the natural bandwagon because it's trending. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. So if you follow the story, I know people don't like Tommy Sotomayor brought it up, and he made some good points because here is a woman who knew she murdered her husband, set up a GoFundMe page, spent 2 or 3 weeks on Facebook arguing with people because a lot of people knew that she had done it. Or what's going on? And she's like, oh, here's me and my baby and this. If that isn't a mental disorder in itself, you murdered this man and then you acted like nothing was wrong.
But can I play devil's advocate?
Sure, play devil advocate.
Is that something exclusive to black women?
No, it's not exclusive to black women. But as you know, I am concerned about my community. Yes, I know,
but I'm saying, and I get it because the narrative is and it's not just you, but I see it a lot, especially when I'm on Facebook. Black women, it's black women that like one dude yesterday was on Facebook talking about the biggest benefactor of the paraphrasing of the child support system is black women, and I said, well, you do know that the child support system wasn't created originally for black women.
Right. It was created for the white.
Yeah, so it's like, come on. To say that exclusively belongs to black women, that's fraud. to say that. Now, are there black women who abuse the child support system? Absolutely.
Generations.
Are there white women? Hell yes. Like I said, I know of a dude who is in $300,000 in arrears. He a black dude and she a white woman, and the arrears is bogus nonsense over some mess that happened back in the day, and she can absolve the debt if she wants, and the kids will be 18 and she still dangling over his head because she's bitter that they're not together no more. And this has been like 15 years ago.
Exactly.
So that's a white woman doing this to him.
Like I said, we're going to torture you. We're going to give it to you. You can't, 15 minutes of pleasure is a lifetime of pain.
Yeah, so I mean.
But, the sad thing is, as a military member is, okay, you're under two jurisdictions. Right now, that young lady, they arrested her, I guess, a couple of days ago, if not today. When it's a crime in the United States under the jurisdiction of whoever did the arresting thing. So right now, she's still in the military, but she's under Michigan jurisdiction and locked up in the county or city jail, whatever it is. Now, the problem is, here's a woman who was a soldier, or is a soldier. Her husband was a soldier, and they said the motive for the murder was the SGLI, or the life insurance.
Now, how much is the life insurance?
I'm not sure, but the average life insurance for a soldier is about $250,000. Now, let me ask you this as somebody who knows insurance and who previously sold insurance. If my spouse mysteriously got murdered, who is usually the first suspect?
Absolutely. They are going to go to the spouse, and that's just a natural thing. But then the next thing they're probably going to ask is there life insurance? Yes, there's life insurance. And then if they see y'all ass took it out 2 weeks ago, and then mysteriously your husband and your wife came up missing, you're suspect number one.
Exactly. But here's a woman who was married to this man, I guess 3 years or whatever. And it seems like they were separated because if you looked on his Facebook page, there are no pictures of him and her.
And then all of a sudden.
And on her page, well, I mean, like for the 2 or 3 weeks that when they're investigating it, she's like, oh, here's me and my baby doing. I mean, to me, the cruelty and the insanity to play this role. And you murdered this man. And because you're in the military, here's another, how stupid she is. You're in the military, so it ain't like you can just arbitrarily get up and go somewhere and not be accounted for.
Right.
Now, you can go AWOL, but that would bring in, a police to suspect something's going on. So she couldn't, go on the run.
So she had to play the role.
Right. And I believe this woman is from back east somewhere or whatever. And I'm not saying it's just, it's everywhere, whatever. But what I'm saying is, if you looked at her Facebook page, she's in there with her weave and her boot thing, and they're doing all this other stuff.
The weave made her do it?
No, the weave didn't make her do it. But what I'm saying is, like I say on my show, and we say on your show sometimes, this gangster mentality, and you might not agree with this, D, but you sent me a video where you had young girls were being interviewed.
Oh, that video, because I was like, I gotta make sure I sent you the right video.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And, there was a girl on there that was in the Army. And she's, I just like, there's something about that thug love.
Oh, yeah, they said they like hood niggas. That was the name of the video. It was about 10 minutes long. And they said that they
went to a mall.
They preferred hood niggas.
There's something about them.
But did you check out the dude that was interviewed? Why had that bonnet?
Yeah, the bonnet on. And nobody said nothing about the bonnet. Nobody said anything about that bonnet. But do you see how insane things are getting? And I sent you a video of a young man that you sent to me. He's doing his web series where he's jumping around in the boots.
His name is Super Bitch.
Super Bitch. What is going on in the black community? How do you...
Hey, Super Bitch got a following.
I know he does.
He about to be the next Black Panther. What you talking about? He's going to be at the Oscars.
Yeah. His whole shtick is I'm walking with my lady friend and somebody says something, so I'm going to go beat him up. Come on. I mean, is this it? Is this as far as we've gone? This is why people don't take us seriously.
Yeah, because it's like they're just, and it's like, come on.
I know. Yeah.
I want to know who writing this web series. Okay, first of all, this dude got on a glittery half top,
right,
and some black
thigh high boots,
some pink thigh high boots, and who's convinced that that's your woman? that you walking with and that you got to...
Right. But, you know, I mean, it's just insane. I mean, you're going to murder your husband. Okay, now they had a 1-year-old child together. I think the child is 2 years old now. But then you act like you're the innocent person. You're around this man's parents. And even the father said in one of the articles that I read he said the scary thing was, I'm with this woman. I'm grieving for her more so than myself. Right. More so than myself because she lost her husband, which is my son, and now she has to go it alone.
Babies don't have their daddy.
Come to find out, she's the murderer. And the motive was to get the insurance.
Piece, that's a cold piece. That's almost like when you see about people who, you know, come up missing or whatever, and the killer's right there at the funeral. He's looking through he's there looking through the brush and the sticks. Oh, we just gotta find Annie.
Right, but you know, as a soldier and an airman, as you know, they would call people in the Air Force were airmen. You know, we have a bond that's strong there. It's bad enough we get a bad rap or we're less paid. I mean, you know, there's a sacrifice to being in the military, and you know, to me, I would be scared shitless dating a woman, any woman, black, white, Asian, I don't care. And this is where we've gone in society where now my fellow soldier is going to murder me for chump change.
That's what I was saying, especially when you said the $100,000 GoFundMe. That's it.
Yeah, you know, and then stuff like GoFundMe when it's just
that's beyond ballsy. Not only am I going to murder the dude,
right?
I'm gonna be with his mom and daddy, and then even the poor child is probably like, what happened to my daddy? Then you set up this GoFundMe, and you all on Facebook. It's like they need to throw her under the jar after they fry her up.
And then the guy she's having the affair with, he was military too.
So was he involved in the murder?
Yeah, he's the one that did the murder. The man died in her hands. She was the mastermind behind it.
Why not just leave?
They were separated. He was overseas.
Go on about your life.
Right. But here's the thing. She's having an affair. Now remember, I know people say, well, that's kind of stupid. The military is like that. They could have been charged with adultery.
Better adultery than murder.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean,
so I wanted to bring that story up because that's chump change to murder somebody, the father of your children. But I'm just saying, if you guys go look at this lady's Facebook post, to me that is disturbing. To continue to act like you're in mourning and grieving when you were the person behind it. It's
strange what people will do for money. Especially in respects to sex, if you will. I mean, because you think about, we talked about Jeff Bezos, the CEO and owner of Amazon. Mm-hmm. He's going through a divorce. He's the richest man in the world at $170 billion. I keep saying million, but $1 billion. $170 billion
a year.
And so he's going to give
not a year, but yeah.
Well, who knows what he'll give his wife, but at the end of the day...
He's going to get half.
In all fairness, too, the wife was there 25 years, so she helped him build Amazon, so she's not no Johnny come lately. Mm-hmm. But still, you let a piece of ass cost you potentially half your riches, or y'all riches, which they also said, and to me, I kind of disagree with this, because I feel like she's already the richest woman in the world.
Yes.
But they're saying if she gets half, she'll be the richest woman in the world. On her own, right. She gets half. Right. And so, it's at the end of the day, and if you've seen Lauren Sanchez, she ain't all of that.
But maybe in the bed, she's a Hellcat.
But is it worth, or whatever, what, 80, potentially what?
Yeah.
We're talking about 80-something billion dollars?
About $90 billion.
Is it worth it?
My mom says ain't no ass worth over $10.
Well,
dinner and a movie.
Jeff Bezos begs different. You know the cold part about this? He wasn't even trying to get caught. The Inquirer was following them.
Wow.
And then somehow they got a hold of all their messages. And did you read some of those messages?
No, I didn't follow.
Oh, I want to smell and taste you.
What?
My alive girl. I just, want to wake up with you, go to sleep with you, look in the sunset. This is white people shit.
Yeah,
Look into your eyes, the sunset and the moons, and your body is just so amazing. And somehow...
He's a sensitive guy.
You know what?
He's
Jeff,
a sensitive
guy.
Guy.
You listening? You might be listening. Jeff, if you're listening, for $2 million, I'll put you on that game. Okay? $2 million. You got it, a week with me. Spend a week with me.
Oh, there you go. Look, that's what you're going to say. I'll be your host.
No. I'll put you up on game, okay?
You know,
because I thought very seriously he was trying to leave his wife for her.
Right.
And that's the other part. People do stupid stuff for money. I'm reading the text and it's cheesy and it's funny to me. But it's like, look, this lady is all of that to you. Why not just leave your wife? Why not just leave her? So to me, if I was Lauren, and her husband is not nothing to sneeze at, he's got money, some big time, somebody in Hollywood. But if I was her, I'd be like, damn, I'm jeopardizing my marriage, you jeopardizing your marriage. Shit, if I'm all that to you, let's just go and do this.
Right.
You know? But I'm sure he probably had along with that too, with the kids and the wife, I would, but but I still want to wake up and smell you, my alive girl. I mean, just leave.
It's sad. Yeah, just leave. But like I said, these people aren't killing each other over pennies. You know what I mean? And and that story with this military chick just breaks my heart, because this man lost his life over somebody he had children.
And probably had no idea.
That
he's
he was
overseas.
being set up.
Yeah,
he came home for the holidays and got killed.
But too, I'm just curious as to what would cause you, because I've been mad at people before, like mad.
And it seems to me they were separated.
Okay, but I'm saying, I'm just trying to make an example. I've been very furious with people.
Yes, I know.
But I'm trying to think, I've never the thought has come into my mind, I want to, I might say I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
But it never came into my mind, okay, this is what I'm doing, this motherfucker come home and, throw a blow dryer in a shower with him.
Yeah. I went to take in the tub.
Nothing like that's ever crossed my mind. And trust me, I've been done dirty by dudes. Okay, let me tell y'all a story one time. Back in the day, Deanna's father, my daughter's father, he pissed me off so bad. Like bad. I'm sure it was behind some chick or he was cheating or something. Now, mind you, I was 23.
23, young girl. Young thing.
Long time ago. Pissed me off. I'm whispering because So anyway, he said something stupid to me and I'm pissed off. So he walks outside and he's standing. We lived upstairs. He's
standing, a toaster at him.
He's standing on the edge of the stairs. And for
I can see where it's going.
Split second, I was like, push this motherfucker off. And I had to stop myself.
Right.
So that's the closest I ever came to doing it. But it was like, what do you call it? The heat of
passion.
It would have been a crime of passion. He's cheating on me, and he's, thumbing his nose at me, so what, whoopty-whoop, this, that, and the other, and then you gonna stand on the top of the stairs? I promise y'all, this show would have been shot from cell block 8.
Still in there.
And that's why I was saying, too, sometimes you have a moment to make the right decision because I was close to just wham!
Right. But, all these incidents that I'm reading about, you're seeing people going to jail for the stupidest stuff. And I think it's because we glorify the bad boy image and the gangster stuff.
It's just so easy to do now.
And like I said, that show For My Man. Look at all the women that are being locked up over their love for their man. It's ridiculous.
To me, it's not even love, because it's funny, because me and Al was having this conversation the other day, and I said, well, people are addicted to a whole lot of stuff. People even are addicted to people. And he says, well, how so? I said, because you'll do anything. Like when we're in love, we say, I'll do anything for you. But that anything has to come with a clause, except for murder people.
Right. It should. Yeah, it should.
Yeah, but so people become addicted to people. Oh gosh, I don't want to make him mad, but I just love him so much. I'll do it. If he wants me to go murder somebody, I might tell him no a couple times, but then I don't want him to be mad, and I just can't see myself without him, so I will do it.
Yeah, and and this
that's an addiction.
And then in our community, this affects. There is nobody that. I'm sorry. In our community, everybody knows somebody that has somebody in jail or has been to jail. I had a troop that I met 2 years ago. She was in the prison down the street in Corona, and I couldn't believe it. And she was in jail for her man. Wrong place, supposedly wrong time, whatever. So I just wanted to bring that up because that really bothered me. That, now as a military member, I have to watch the chick at the NCO club. Like, I don't want to mess with you because, number one, you're trained. And now you're plotting to kill me, or, I don't, you know what I mean? It's just that it's bad enough the guy goes to Iraq, he's putting his life on the line. Now you got to come home and worry about that. But
that's the point I was making too when I said that I didn't do it. He's still alive, y'all. Almost pushed my daughter's father off the stairs.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he had an IQ of 189. And now You know, he's kind of like...
He don't remember,
yes,
okay?
Right.
No, but I mean, and so I wasn't planning to do that. And even all the nonsense that he took me through and did to me, I never planned on killing
rubbing him out.
Yeah, just like, so it's like, what kind of a monster do you have to be to like sit and plan? Okay, baby, what's going to happen when he comes home?
And that's another thing with this case. It isn't like it's second-degree murder or manslaughter.
That's capital one.
Yeah, capital one, premeditated. Mm-hmm. And not only is she going to either probably most likely they don't execute women as much as they do men. That man that did it with her, he's probably going to be executed within 10 years. He'll probably be dead within 10.
They need to fry her ass up too.
They most likely will commute her thing to life because, you know, women don't do, you know, whatever. Because she didn't do the shooting, but she was the mastermind.
But down.
But, she's going to probably get a commuted thing. But here's the sad thing about it. The child has lost the father and the mother. And she's going to be discharged out of the military.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean,
right.
I mean, this girl probably came out of a situation to where, you know, the military was her only option to better herself.
And how old are these people?
Less than 24 years old.
Oh! But see, then that makes a good point, too, that especially that generation, which is, you know, a generation behind us, they are so desensitized.
Right.
I just kill him.
Yeah,
I don't want to be with him anymore. I just kill him.
Just kill him.
Baby, will you kill him with me? Oh, yeah, sure. Let's kill him. And then go off and, you know, create a GoFundMe. That is just like...
that's macabre.
It's just like... There's like you have no soul, no conscience.
Nothing.
Because I couldn't imagine doing that and then having to be up and around his peoples. And
right. Yeah. Right. And then, you know, you're a soldier, so... I mean, I'm not trying to tell people how to do a perfect murder, but I'm just, because there is nowadays with all the technology, it is hard to do a murder, especially when you're black and you're ignorant. But you're a soldier.
You're black and you're ignorant.
because that was ignorant what she did. I mean, you know, to me that was ignorant.
Okay.
Because knowing that you're under two different jurisdictions, because number one, the civil authorities are going to do their investigation, and number two, the military is going to do their investigation. So how are you going to get away with that?
Well, like you said, I mean, if you purple, you're not getting away with murder. Back in the day, I mean, and even now, you having it where 50 years later, they done found him.
Right.
You know, he had a different identity, was held up in San Jose for 50 years, and that's because of technology.
Technology
is now finding these people. But, yeah, like you said, hell, I mean, you can't walk on most people's street
without a camera looking at you.
Somebody is going to see you.
Mm-hmm.
So... There is no perfect. People talk too much.
But I will give her this. They said that she gave an Academy Award-winning performance for the week or two that she was out and about doing her thing. So I really feel bad for the child because the child has lost both parents now, and
now grandparents
have to step in and stuff like that. But that's Capital One murder. They're looking at, and we're gonna. I'll keep up with the case on this, but I want to also bring back another case that nobody's talking about. Centoya Brown, the young lady that was put into jail for murdering a John. She was a sex worker, willingly or not willing, but she was in the sex industry as a teenager. She killed this man. They put her into jail. And I think last year they had ruled, or the year before last, they had ruled that she will not be eligible for parole until she's 51 years old.
Or until she has served 51 years.
Yeah, 51 years, something like of that nature.
Which would have made her 60s.
She's been in jail now for about 16 years. I think this will be her 16th year.
About 30. Uh-huh.
Right. They commuted her sentence. She is getting out of jail, and I think that is
August.
I think that's a wonderful thing because I personally don't believe. I mean, the laws are the laws. If you are under 18 and you are deemed a minor, I'm not saying go out there and kill people and make, they need to be held accountable for a thing, but I don't believe any minor's life is not redeemable. That's what I
disagree with that to some degree.
Sure.
Because when I worked, and to piggyback off your point, it is an awesome thing that she is out. Yeah. Of course, a lot of the story was going around that she was pretty much snatched off the street.
Right, which isn't true.
That wasn't the case. She willingly lured, well, I don't say she lured this man, but she solicited him.
Cutthroat told her to go out there.
Well, no, because she had broke up with Cutthroat. So they weren't even together. Okay. She was out on her own at this point.
Okay, at that point.
Solicited sex from the man, blah, blah, blah.
Trying to make a living.
She murdered him in cold blood and she admitted to doing it, okay?
And if you look at the photo thing, the guy was laying
she admitted to doing it. Eventually. Stole his truck and his wallet and all that. So it wasn't like... Yeah, she's 16 and he shouldn't have been with her, but it wasn't like.
But remember, she was smoking marijuana all day. So, and marijuana, I don't care what anybody. That's why anybody to me that does drugs, you're a loser. I'm sorry, because it does warp your brain. If your brain isn't fully functional.
What about fentanyl or
if it's
Oxycontin?
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
I'm saying, those people,
but that's a medical prescription.
We got an
opium addiction.
now.
Yeah, and if that's by the doctors or whatever, that's a different thing. But I'm saying these idiots that think that marijuana is just cool to do it. Like you always say, you don't know what they're cutting that marijuana with.
Yeah, I don't know what Ray and Pooh. They ain't got no scientific degrees or nothing like that. They're cutting up some shit off in the garage.
I am for medical marijuana. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying if it's for medical purposes, absolutely. But I just don't understand that. Hey, let's go to the park and get high. For what? Can't you get high on life?
Well, no.
That's what I'm saying. No matter how high you get, you got to eventually come down and face reality.
Come over to the house. I can make them some green juice. That should
there
have me high.
There you go. But you see what I'm saying? I could never understand that.
Yeah.
And some people get addicted to it and they ruin their lives. There has never been a movie made in Hollywood where the person took drugs and everything worked out fine.
Right. Well, when I was back in the day, I worked at a youth prison. CYA.
CYA, okay.
Now, this ain't like juvenile hall where they have some killers and stuff in there too, but this is like hardened criminals, federal crimes. And then some of these were the kids to me, but they were getting ready to go over to the big prison
house,
once they
turned.
I think it's 21.
Yeah, 21.
And so I was there, and I would talk to some of the staff and stuff. And I was like, gosh, it feels so bad for these kids. Because you would see them and stuff, and they're just, some of them just look
like kids. Yeah, they look like little kids.
And so one of the ladies said me straight, she said, don't you feel bad for them? She says, because a lot of it, she says, we got one guy in here who did a triple homicide and is not remorseful. And then he said, and it was funny, not funny, but this next case she was telling me about was all on the news because back in the 80s or something, this boy, I think he was 13, he raped and murdered, he drowned this little 3-year-old. They caught him and everything, so he went to prison and stuff. And he was up for parole. This is a couple years back. He's up for parole. But everybody's like, no, don't let him out, this, that, and the other.
He's
and so he was there. He was at that facility. And she says, but every time the psychologist talked to him, he's not remorseful. It said he was what do you call a sadomasochist or whatever.
Okay.
So they said when they were talking to him, he was just like, every time he would talk about the story, he would almost like be reliving it and he said he would get aroused by that.
Okay.
And so she says, so I'm not saying all of them deserve, a harsh sentence. She said, but while you are around here feeling sorry for these kids, she said some of these kids will slit your throat.
Oh, absolutely.
If they kept you alone.
Absolutely. No,
I was like,
yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is to put a person to where there's no chance of, like I said, okay, let me make a better example.
Wait. Before you start, let me just ask you this question.
Right.
Okay. Somebody who's very near and dear to you was murdered by a
14-year-old.
Just murdered your loved one. Are you advocating for them to get out?
Okay, they are deemed a minor, correct?
They're 14. They're a minor.
Okay. Here's what that's bad. Yeah. Here's what I believe. Seriously, my loved one is gone. Nothing that I can do will bring them back.
Okay.
I am pro-life. I'm not one of these pro-life conservatives that believe in. I don't believe in abortion, but the death penalty. Yeah. If you're pro-life, you're pro-life. Okay. My loved one is gone. This person made a mistake. Now, at 14 years old, they don't know what they're doing. They're still under direction of somebody else. What I'm saying is basically this. Let's say that they murdered my mother. That's the most precious thing to me. I do not want that person getting out of jail, put them under the jail. But what I am saying is this. To put them in a situation where they have no chance of redeemability. You see what I'm saying? The difference in what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying is, okay, to say that this person can't get parole till they're 51, that's ridiculous.
Right.
But if you could give them parole, she's 14 now, she won't be up for parole until she's 25. Okay, she goes with parole, she's not remorseful, keep her ass in.
Because that's how they used to do it, for the most part. I mean, hell, it was that way for people who weren't minors, Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Because when you do that, a young kid, they finally, what if they are remorseful? Let's say they, either or. But the point is, they don't see no light at the end of the tunnel.
Well,
I believe everybody's reading it.
And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying that they're not, but I you know me, I like to put myself on both sides of the fence and say, well, what if that was my mom or my dad or something like that? But then on the other side, I agree with you, because when you are 15, you're going to be a different person as an adult. Exactly. Once you grow up and you mature and things like that. But then there's that kind of place in the middle where it's like, well, when I was 15, now admittedly I didn't have the circumstances that Centoya had, but when I was 15, I wasn't hanging out with dudes named Cutthroat,
right?
And hoeing, or I should be a prostitute, I should say,
prostituting,
or what do they call it, sex worker. I wasn't doing those things, or even putting myself in a position to murder.
Right. So,
and again, I'm not saying I'm all that, but so I like to think about all those things and then say, okay, what is the best course of action? Right. Now, I don't know her, but she seems remorseful. She's getting her degree, and she's changed. What she would have probably did had she been on the outside and had a chance to get herself together.
But she's already done 15 years of her life has already been taken.
I agree. What wasn't taken, she gave it.
Well, she gave it, whatever. And I'm just thinking.
I agree. I think,
she's paid a significant thing, because the thing is, and I'm not dismissing what she did.
Yeah.
But this girl at 31 years old now looks like a teenager still.
Well,
or 18, 19, 20 years old.
She's 16 years ago?
16 years
a lot
ago.
of the stuff that's gone on now.
Right. So, but if you looked at her when she was when the murder actually happened, this girl looked like she was like 11 or 12 years old. That's how young the girl was.
She had the little ponytails and stuff.
And I'm not dismissing what she did, but we also got to look at the person that she killed. What are you doing picking up a child that looks like a child? Let's look at that. I'm not,
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I know somebody probably gonna come on here and say, well, that's fine. But unless this child was in an imminent danger, and I'm not saying what was right, what he did. I mean, obviously he was wrong to sleep with a kid, but I think that you should be able to pick up somebody without being murdered.
Sure. No, and I agree with that. But but my point is, what I'm saying is, I'm a military man. We're the only country where prostitution it's very hypocritical. We got a $16 billion porn industry, but yet there's no prostitution. And what I'm saying is,
in some spots.
Yeah, in some spots, only in Nevada in certain spots. But what I'm saying is, this man went out to get a sex worker. He found a sex worker and he got killed. And unfortunately, things like that happen when you do stuff like that. So it ain't like this man didn't know what he was doing wasn't a crime.
Yeah, I agree, but it's just like in the court of law, they call it clean hands.
Yeah, nobody has clean hands.
Yeah, in that situation, nobody had clean hands.
Right.
And so, but has she served enough time? I think so. I think, she, and if you watch the whole documentary, she was hard-headed, like a lot of these girls running around. Hard-headed, couldn't listen. It wasn't with her mama who was a drug addict, but then she was with some lady who seemed was very good to her and trying to take care of her. That adopted her. So she was just wayward. They couldn't take advice, and so...
Yeah, and by the way, this girl was biracial, and her mother was white. So, people say, what does that mean got to do with it? It doesn't have anything to do with it, but at the same time, it does, because the white mother's... her grandmother was a very attractive lady when she was younger. The mother was very attractive. But the mother was hard-headed in herself. So sometimes it's embedded in the genes. You know what I mean?
I guess.
So... So I know people are going to be like, what does that got to do with it? It does have a little bit.
It does, but I don't know. Like I said, I think for the most part, I'm glad she's out.
Yeah, I'm glad she's out.
But the thing that was most annoying to me about it was that people wasn't telling the truth.
Yeah.
They weren't telling the truth about what actually happened. They misrepresented that, she was snatched off the streets. And she was raised like, no, that's not quite what happened. But, should she get a second chance? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think
and now at 32 years old, however old she is, she seems very remorseful and wants to move on and make a difference. Because we had a young lady here in Riverside under pretty much the same Sarah Cruzan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she was almost the same thing. Yeah, she killed her pimp in the situation, and she's moved on and is actually an advocate for a criminal reform.
Right. So when you see people doing that kind of stuff, they should be. I think they should have a second chance. Now, if they often prison doing American Me and stuff, then you probably just need to stay up in there. But if you in there making a difference, you actually have benefited from the reformation. Because that's what they say. It's a reform system, which a lot of people don't really come out reformed.
Right, exactly.
Then if you actually benefited from it, give them a second chance. I think that should be true for a lot of people. Now, there's some people who, should never get out, but for the most part, I think if you redeemed yourself. Absolutely. Hey, in the second hour, we got a second hour coming up, but before we go, I want to tell you guys about a new business. You can come across.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, she's going to wait. I'm going to tell you guys about a new business by one of our roving reporters, Shante Gonzalez. She has a business on Stella.com. Check her out. Her FB page is Facebook.com. Go to Shantae's Stella Divas. Shante Stella Divas. So that's one thing on the website, Stella.com, sites, Shante Gonzalez. And you guys can probably see the picture right back here. And just check it out. And
okay, so it's actually, the name of it is Stella and Dot.
Oh, Stella and Dot.
Because I thought it was like he said Stella Dot.
Is that what it says?
Yes, Stella and. See the and sign? Dot.
Oh, I'm reading up here. See, Stella Dot.
Okay, so StellaDot.com. So it's STELLADOT.com.
Okay.
Yes.
So we were both right.
No, you were wrong.
I was wrong.
You was
completely.
Extremely wrong. You was about to send them to Stella. There's probably a porn site.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting a lot of traffic over here.
I went to the public schools. So sorry. Norda Vista.
So that's Stella and Dot. And she's an independent stylist where they have, it seems like, a lot of jewelry and some really nice stuff, earrings I'm looking at.
And I'm kind of good because we always talk about people starting their own business. Mm-hmm. And here's one of a friend of ours, retired military, whatever. She's getting it, doing her own business, and she's doing a lot out there. But I'm glad she's starting that. And you guys check her out. We'll put the thing right up here on the site. In the second hour, what do you got going for us?
We're going to talk about how to keep your children from being prey of predators.
We're going to look at my picture that I showed you earlier today.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that, too.
And last Sunday, you talked about the Michael Jackson thing. We haven't got the feedback yet, but a lot of feedback starting to come in. Mm-hmm. There are some questions on what's wrong with Michael Jackson being buried after he's dead. That's the best time to get him because he can't respond.
Oh, you mean not buried after he's dead, but...
dogged out.
The documentary.
Yeah, the documentary. Yeah, dogged out after he's dead. That's the best time to get him because he can't respond.
Right. So. Somebody made a good point. It says, well, black men, they kill you. They could kill you. So they kill you off, and then they kill you. You die twice. First they kill you, then they kill your reputation.
Your reputation. It is so true. It is so true. But you guys check that out. That's on the Demetra K YouTube page. You can check it out, and it's also on News from the Edgemont and Speaker, iHeart, and Spotify. We're on so many things now. So you guys stand by. We're going to be doing that for the second hour. Also, real quick story. I don't know if I told you guys. A feral cat came up to me. I named him Blackie because he's a really black cat with a nice little coat. And he was meowing at me. And you guys know I have two cats, but now it seems like I have a third cat. And it's very cool.
Seems you do.
Yeah, I do. The cat is, he's about 2 years old. I picked him a little, maybe under 2 years, but he's close to 2 years old. Walks up to me, had a hurt leg. His leg is a lot better. I haven't taken him to the vet yet. People say, why don't you take him to the animal shelter? When a cat is already identified as feral and they've got a clip in their ear, all the animal shelter is going to do is say, we've already done everything we're going to do. Put him back in the neighborhood. And that's what they do. So there's really not much they can do at that point. So if the cat stays with me or not, I don't know. But what I want to do is take him to the vet, get him some vaccination. So if he does leave, he'll be all right. He'll be all right for a few years. The average feral cat lives about 4 years in the wild. They're, in the neighborhoods by itself. But if it has a few vaccinations, it can live a little bit longer. So we're going to check that out. This has been the Donovan Sadiq segment of Don't Believe the Hype. You guys get ready. Demetra K is about to drop some knowledge on this winter, cold, wet day in Southern California. You guys be safe. It is wet out there.